Senator, why don't you tell us how do you feel about the idea that maybe this country ought to be more bipartisan and more centrist?
Well, I think it should be, and a lot of the issues in Washington really aren't normally partisan. Things like the defense authorization for our military, the farm bill for agriculture and food for the American people, cybersecurity. This is an issue that shouldn't be partisan. It's about, doing the right thing to secure our networks and to make sure our privacy is protected in the right way. So there is a need for more bipartisanship, but it really is not about bipartisanship or partisanship. It's about getting the job done of legislating and doing what's right for our country. When I was majority leader and Tom Daschle was my cohort on the Democratic side and Bill Clinton was the president, we had a lot of serious disagreements, but we managed to get things done. Everything from balanced budgets and surpluses to safe drinking water. Safe drinking water, is that a partisan issue? No. But do a lot of small communities in America need some help with making their water safe to drink? Yes.
How can you compare, say, when you were head of the Senate, as you just did? Is there some other comparison that you can make to what's going on right now?
Right now is about as bad as I've ever seen it in terms of gridlock and not being able to get things done. But we've had divided government before. I mentioned the years that Clinton was president. He had a Republican Congress 6 of his 8 years. Ronald Reagan, people forget that Ronald Reagan had a Democrat House for the entire 8 years, and yet he got tremendous things done for the good of our country. So it can be done. But what is required to get things done? Leadership. People have to step up. The president has to become more involved in the legislative process. The leaders have to communicate with each other of both parties and in both houses more than they do now. And frankly, they need to work more than they do now. They come to town, they spend 2.5, 3 days, they go home. You can't do that and get the job done.
One last question, that is, we just saw and heard 1 hour's worth of information about the election from last week. Is there anything, after listening to that, is there anything that you can recommend or would recommend, let's say, to the Republican Party, your party?
Well, yes, they are going to have to come to terms with changing demographics. We do need to go ahead and address this issue of immigration reform. It can be done in a way that everybody ought to be satisfied with. Republicans are going to have to reach out to young people more. They are going to have to reach out to Latinos more. But the main thing is we've just got to get a better message, and we've got to get more people out there delivering the message. We need more of our young people like Marco Rubio, Florida, and Kelly Ayotte from New Hampshire out there actually carrying the message for the Republicans. We should learn some lessons. I hope we will, and I hope we'll begin to see it soon.